Hey, good morning everybody. This is Brittany Jennings coming to you live from the Seniors Blue Book. And today, as you can tell, I'm not working from home. I've been acting a little crazy because I'm out of my cage, but today I'm joined by Chaz with Home Instead, and hello Chaz. And so we are talking about Home Instead and just this rebranding and kind of new direction that you guys are taking. So go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit. Most people know you, of course, but for those that are just meeting you, maybe a little bit of your background and what you do here with Home Instead.
Yes, so my name is Chasity, or I go by Chaz Davis, and I am the Director of Human Resources, Sales and Marketing, and I'm also the Administrator of the agency here in Sarasota, Florida. My background.
She's thinking because she literally does like 10,000 things in the industry.
So I've been in the senior industry background for about 5 years actually. Before that I was in health insurance. So it's been an eye-opener as far as the senior industry and how big it is and how many seniors we have and are going to increase in actually over the next couple decades.
Absolutely.
So it's a huge thing to get involved in, and our seniors need our help. So.
And I always like to mention too, like you're involved with SCAN, Sarasota County Aging Network, as well as SAC.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get this right. Sarasota Senior Advocacy Council.
Yes.
I did it. Yay. But you're really like involved in a lot of the not-for-profit and raising money and doing great things. We were just watching a couple of For You Kids at Home TikToks. And she was showing me like one of the ones where there was just presents all over the office for seniors in the area. So definitely want to say a big shout out and thank you for all you do for our seniors. And so let's talk about the mission statement behind Home Instead and kind of this new direction, little history, all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So the mission statement for Home Instead is to enhance the lives of aging adults and their families. And that's always been the mission statement. So, when Home Instead first started back in 1994, it was started by Lori and Paul Hogan out in Omaha, Nebraska. They were actually taking care of Paul's grandmother, right in her home. And they seen the need of, having a compassionate person in the home. And they brought in a caregiver and pretty much started Home Instead right in her house. She was their first client, and she lived to 101 years old.
Oh my goodness.
So they kind of realized that having someone in the home and providing direct one-on-one care and having a personalized care plan, and having her engaged and doing activities that she once had enjoyed before, it helped her live longer, many years longer. Absolutely. So that's kind of where Home Instead started. Now, we really focus on having a tulip in our logo, and it was in the previous logo. And that tulip really represents having that compassionate care and that building relationships. And really, actually, the symbolization of a tulip stands for, it reflects optimism, hope, continuing growth, and then friendship.
Love it.
So that's what the tulip stands for. And those of you, just to be clear, we were Home Instead Senior Care up until January 1st of this year, and now we are just Home Instead. So that just really, it doesn't take us away from focusing on senior care because that's our number one focus. That's what we're built on. But it opens our horizons for the increase of seniors that are going to be coming.
Absolutely. And any aging adult that needs in-home care. I was just talking to somebody yesterday that had a loved one in a community that was in their 50s. So, any age that, whether they've been through something traumatic or they have a disability or whatever it might be, you guys can tend to that.
Yep.
And hence why the Home Instead of the aging adults. But absolutely, this area is definitely a heavy focus on seniors.
Yes.
But you can obviously help anybody.
Absolutely. And, not only that, we also have a slogan, to us it's personal. We tend to focus extreme amounts of time and energy towards customer focus and building relationships within the customers, within, you know, us and our caregivers, us and headquarters, because we are a franchise. So all of that is on the foundation of building relationships. And that takes, you know, time, and, you know, it's well worth it in the end, because our clients stay with us for a very long time.
It's what builds that trust, because when you do have a caregiver, that's a very intimate thing to have in your home. So to be able to bring somebody in that you feel confident, you can trust, you know that they'll do anything for you, it's a huge deal.
Yep. Yeah. And a nice thing about it is it's customized to whatever that senior or aging adult's needs are, what their comfort level is. You know, they can have us in there one time a week, or they can have us in there 24/7. It just depends on their needs and their comfort level, and we understand that. We work with people on that. You know, that's why I don't have caps on my hours, or, you know, things like that. So it's definitely customer and client focused. You know, we focus a lot on personalized care plans. So when I do a home assessment, I'm not just going in and having them sign a contract. I'm going in with a 7-page assessment, learning everything. Their professional history, their hobbies, their likes, their dislikes, every detail about the home, their medicines, their medical conditions, you know, all kinds of stuff.
Their favorite foods, their least favorite
exactly,
foods, their allergies.
Yeah, their daily routines. I mean, the whole 9 yards. And it just helps us not only one, personalize that care plan for them, but also build a relationship between caregiver and them.
I was just going to kind of bring that into play, like the matching of a caregiver with a client. How does that kind of work? It's obviously based on the assessment and ongoing assessment of that person, but how does that kind of work, since you're heavily involved in that side as well?
Yeah, so, you know, for our caregivers, we put them through rigorous training, not rigorous, but we put them through quite a bit of training when they're hired on.
You can say rigorous.
Even if they're experienced and been in the field for 10 plus years, we still put them through our customized training. And, you know, we get to know them. Not only, like, during the interview process, I have pretty much everyone in my office sit down and talk with these people to get to know them, because the more we know about our caregivers and the more we know about our clients, the better off we can match and keep that relationship going.
Yeah, the better the outcome.
And consistency with the aging population is key, especially when you're getting into Alzheimer's and dementia, which is what we sometimes 100%. Tend to focus on and represent. You know, and we encourage our clients to build those our caregivers to build those relationships with our clients, because it just makes everyone happy. And that's what we're here for. Yeah. So
awesome. Yeah. So as far as the training goes and things like that, we're actually, you can't see it, but there's a bed over here and some different stuff. Like, talk us through real quick, just kind of, because I know this is one thing that makes you unique, is just you're involved in the hiring process, you're involved in the matching process. So how, when somebody comes in, and by the way, are you hiring as well?
Yes.
Okay, I'd like to give that plug. Somebody's watching and they're interested in whether it's a new career or a new company. But talk us through kind of like what the training looks like, since it is a rigorous thing. I think it's important to bring up. Yeah,
so we do both online and in-person training. And we actually my office just started online in November of last year, 2020. 2020 gave us a lot of time to refocus and to, you know, get things prepared for the upcoming years. So we did put in online training for our caregivers. We also do in-person training, so we put them through about almost a week of orientation, just to get people started. So, you know, it's us providing the training that they need to feel comfortable and confident in the home, but that doesn't just end at orientation. You know, if we have a caregiver, if we have a client that has a specific medical diagnosis, we can assign classes to those caregivers who are going to be on their core team and educate them about this particular diagnosis or about a particular piece of equipment that they're going to be using in the home, like a specific Hoyer lift or, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's convenient for them, which they love.
Yeah.
And, when they go into the home, first couple of shifts, our clients see that they've been trained on it and that they're educated on it.
I'm sure they can definitely tell that difference.
Yep, and it again puts that extra layer of trust
Yes.
on our agency. And
it helps you specialize too, like in something like Parkinson's or, again, you obviously have a focus on Alzheimer's, dementia, or any cognitive impairment.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Awesome. So, one more last question. So during 2020, and I guess kind of moving forward, what is, like, from the client aspect, what is the most popular client call you receive kind of during COVID? Like, what are people seeking most? Is it just companionship? Is it because people are in their home and they're, wanting to stay at home? Is it that, they're not moving as much, so they might have progressed in different diseases or whatnot? So what's kind of the most popular call you received during COVID?
During COVID, it was actually, there wasn't a huge difference in the calls that we received pre-COVID versus during COVID.
Okay.
However, now, because of COVID,
Yes.
the calls that we're receiving are a lot more urgent need. These people have been at home for a long time by themselves when they're normally out engaging and going to doctors and getting their prescriptions and getting nutritionist meals like grocery shopping and things like that. They haven't been able to do that, so their health has declined tremendously. And because their children, or what Home Instead calls CAFIs, they've been up north dealing with their own things. So now that things are opening back up, people are traveling more, children are coming here and seeing the condition that their family members or that their parents are in, and it's in need like 3 months ago in need.
Or even more, like I remember being, in the, like ground zero of getting those calls and the family saying, well, my mom's doing well. She's telling me she's fine over the phone. And then I would go do that home visit and you do find something very different, unfortunately. And there's a lot of things that play into that, but that is a good point. I'm sure definitely it's like the aftermath of kind of waiting or pushing things off or, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Well, and people still have their hesitancies with having people come into their homes. The good thing about home care in general is it's one-on-one. And again, because we like to build those relationships, we tend to not send caregivers into a bunch of different homes. Because, we like to give the caregiver their shifts that they like and the clients that they like, and that's where they're going every week. They have a schedule. So that just helps with consistency. And then obviously providing people with the right protection equipment, masks, gloves, hand sanitizer, all that kind of stuff. We just try to be here for our clients and our caregivers as much as we can. And for anyone who has any questions about service, I'm an educational resource. Not only if I can't help you, I'm going to try to find someone who can help you. And just go from there. So
awesome. So what's the best phone number to reach you at?
941-951-2242.
And I'll put that in the post, of course, after we are not live. But I want to thank you for allowing me to come over and, like I said, break out of my cage and sit distance apart so we could talk about the excitement around the rebranding of Home Instead. Any last words of wisdom before we stop this live stream?
Don't wait before it's too late to call for help, no matter what realm or industry you're dealing with.
Yeah, just take that first step.
Yeah, there's always people to help, and we're here to help any way we can.
Awesome.
So, thank you, Seniors Blue Book and Brittany.
Absolutely.
It's always great seeing you.
You too. And thanks everybody for tuning in, and please make sure to reach out to Chaz with any questions. If you have a client that does need in-home care, or if you are somebody watching who has a loved one that needs that assistance. Take that first step, make a call, and have a wonderful Friday.
Thank you. Bye.